Hero Nation clinches a district championship. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Holiday Football Show, brought to you by the Holiday Booster Clubs. As the Eagles take care of Wichita Falls City View 47-22 to clinch the district championship again. It was funny. I was right before we came on the air recording. Coach and I were talking. I was just doing a little catch up. How's your week? Talking, of course, the Rangers. And I do apologize for my voice, but I was very, very loud yesterday or last night. And I was also up very, very late. Couldn't go to sleep. Huge baseball guy, huge Ranger fan. And last night was the culmination of many years of pain and sorrow. You can't ever erase 2011, but you can at least say, hey, that's just the backstory of a great ending. So anyway, we were talking about his week, and he was like, man, we're so successful at Holliday. We've got to do this. Daughter's running in cross-country state. We've got band going to be gone next week for most of the week for their competition. The volleyball swept their first round by district playoffs. Oh, and Holliday just won district. Hey, that's always a good problem to have, though. I promise you that. As always, we're going to be talking to the head coach of the Eagles, Coach Kyle Atwood. We're going to be talking about the City View win, talking about the Callisburg matchup and what it means and what does Holliday have to do. You've already got your district. You've already got your seed. You don't know who you're going to play yet. We talk about that in the interview, though. And that district over there, 5-3A, it's a little different this year. Man, what Millsap has done. They took Jacksboro to the mat last week, losing 27-14. They've got Merkel this week, but it doesn't matter for them. They already know they're playing City View. The issue is 3rd and 4th, Eastland and Comanche. And I would never have thought at the beginning of the year that Comanche especially would be fighting for 3rd or 4th, and even Eastland, but especially Comanche. That team is beat up, but that team is good. You definitely you want to avoid them in the first round if you can. Not saying that Holliday would lose to them, but it's just you want the easier games early, man, and I just don't know if 5-3 is going to give it to you this week. But anyway, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it is the head coach of the Eagles, Coach Kyle Atwood, right here on the Holiday Football Show on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media. Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. Terry Bennett back here on the Holiday Football Show, now joined by the head coach of the Eagles, Coach Kyle Atwood. And, Coach, first off, congratulations, district championship. Y'all beat Wichita Falls City View 47-22. What were your thoughts on the game?
I thought our kids played really, really well. It's probably one of the more clean games that we played offensively as far as execution goes. Defensively, we've played pretty well throughout the whole entirety of the year, but we had a pretty good defensive outing as well. We allowed them to move the chains with a few defensive penalties, late hit on a quarterback in a 3rd and long situation, as well as a face mask in another 3rd and long situation, which they scored on both of those drives. And so, and then obviously one of the scores that they came away with was a turnover, a scoop and score there in our own part of the territory where we fumbled the ball. So, we played really good defensively minus those few miscues. But yeah, just proud of our kids and their efforts and their mentality to just get better each and every week at what we do. And so we're playing some pretty good football right now. And we're extremely proud of them.
This week, you take on Callisburg. You've got everything sewed up. You can't move down. You can't move up, of course. You're district champs. Does that change how you're going to game plan and play out this game?
Yeah, I think it does for both parties. You know, they're locked in the seed that they are in. They're actually already in a situation where they know who they're playing next week in the playoffs. And so, you know, no matter win or lose, they're in that same situation, no matter win or lose we are. But you know, it's kind of makes it a little bit difficult as you prepare. You know, you don't want to do too much, show too much for the opponent that you'll face in the first round of the playoffs, but you also want to get out there and play well. So, you know, we've been pretty basic throughout the course of the week of practice, but really harping on, you know, doing the little things right and, you know, keeping a lot of energy and having fun out there. You know, as it gets late in the season, those teams that have a lot of success through the course of the playoffs and do some really good things late are the ones that still have fun being out there. And so we're trying to do that as well, because our hopes are to play for a while.
Well, and you talked about, you know, y'all know you're in the playoffs, you know where you're playing, but you don't know who you're playing yet. And over in 5-3A Division II, they have one of those situations where the third and fourth place team are actually playing each other. That helps you out because you only have to send out scouts. But I do assume you're sending out scouts for that game.
Yeah, you know, it makes it a little bit difficult for us moving forward, and really in the sense that, you know, Comanche's a heavy run team, physical team between the tackles. You know, they do some stuff offensively completely different than Eastland, which they're going to spread it out a little bit. You know, it's very similar to some of our basic 10 personnel run game and quick games, quick screen type stuff. So it's two totally different styles of football teams that we could face next week. So, and, you know, when you're looking ahead, it's hard to kind of prepare if you're thinking, you know, we don't want to think ahead anyways, but it's kind of hard to get an idea as to what we'll be doing this next week when, you know, those teams are completely different from one another.
And let's be honest, you have the chance. Either team, in my opinion, this isn't your normal fourth place team that you'll be playing. Comanche came in with very high hopes, a lot of starters back from a 10-2 team. Eastland, they were down last year, but it's Eastland. They've always been good. So this isn't like you're going to get some team limping into the playoffs.
No, that district is an extremely competitive district. You know, Jacksboro obviously playing really, really well all year. Mill Savage gave Jacksboro everything that they wanted. And then you look at the third and fourth place teams, those teams were within 7 points of you know, possibly finishing second. And, you know, and then, you know, they played with Jacksboro pretty well, you know, as well. So all four of those teams that are coming out of that district are competitive, really good football teams. So yeah, you're exactly right. It's not your historically, you know, your normal fourth place team coming out where you've got a chance to, you know, pump the brakes a little bit and relax that first round. So we're going to have to be firing on all cylinders this week as well as next week.
Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie, and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe. As always, we thank Coach Atwood for joining us. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, email me, Terry at S2SSport.com. So, you know, this is always that weird week. You don't have anything to play for. You don't want to get hurt. You want to get some of your depth guys some work, but you also don't want to get rusty either. And so you have to find that balance. And you know, and it's harder not knowing who you're going to play, especially as he was talking about Comanche and Eastland. Their styles are so wildly different. And so, you know, this is an interesting week, even though Holliday knows where they're at and where they're going, and knowing that they're going to be playing at Mineral Wells. They just don't know who yet. So we'll be here. If you weren't here last year, we'll be here through all the playoff games. Hopefully they're making it all the way, but if they don't, if that time comes, what we'll do is we'll have a wrap-up show, but we'll do it after the state championship week, We'll do it that weekend between state championship and Christmas. That way it gives the coaches time to decompress and kind of look back at their season and kind of get distance from it. I've learned that always gives better end of the year type of interviews. But right now, you're worrying about finishing out the last week healthy and getting a good run going for the playoffs. It's going to be fun, and we're going to be here for all of it right here on the Holiday Football Show, brought to you by the Booster Club on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media. Go Rangers.